Freedom Flag 1776 presents this revealing interview of Governor Sarah Palin as featured on Hannity and Combs' show on the Fox News channel. We hope you enjoy this multi-part YouTube presentation.
T. Boone Pickens said that we have a $700 billion annual transfer of wealth.
Yes.
We're importing, what, 70% of our oil. Do you view this as a national security issue, an economic security issue?
Both.
And what is the impact for Americans down the road if we don't do something to solve our energy?
Right, and that $700 billion transfer of wealth, that's when the price of oil was up as high as it was there at the $140 mark. But of course, that transfer of wealth, still, that imbalance of trade is something that we need to tackle also. Yeah, those dollars should be circulating within our own economy. It's a matter of national security. It is a matter of our future prosperity. Energy is inherently linked to security and prosperity. More and more Americans are recognizing this also. You can see the constituents putting pressure on Congress to, come on, Congress, get rid of that gridlock that you are so engaged in now. We sort of have a do-nothing Senate right now where nobody's wanting to really pick up the ball and run with it and take the steps that we have to take to become more energy independent. And it's going to take a change in leadership in order to really crush that gridlock and get going on this.
Senator McCain's son has served in Iraq as we move to national security. You just said goodbye to your son, who is off. He's going to serve in Iraq. But first, on the personal side, what did you say to him as he was leaving for Iraq, and what did he say to you?
Well, as a mom, you know, he's heading to Iraq, taking a fifth of my heart with him, you know, and I'm just so extremely proud of him. He's independent and he's strong and he's serving for the right reasons. I'm just as proud of every man and woman in uniform serving our country and trying to usher in democratic values to the rest of the world even, but protecting our freedoms. I'm very, very proud of these guys and these gals. They are America's finest, and I think that, you know, the Army is lucky to have my son. What my son said to me, though, was it was an awakening for me to realize that he knows what he's doing in this, and he knows that he has chosen the right reason to serve. I was just being mom to him just a few weeks ago. You know, no VP talk even then, but just as mom, I was probably getting on his nerves, asking him a whole lot of questions about the deployment and about he and his Stryker Brigade, what his job will be. And he's like, "Mom, I belong to the Army now. I belong to America." In other words, he was
said that
telling
to you.
He did. He was telling me, "Mom, just, you know, it's going to be okay, and I've chosen to do this." And you know, I'm like, man, thank God for this voluntary military that we have with America's finest. These young men and women, they just make me so proud.
Why do we need to win in Iraq? To just get right to the bottom line. Why is losing not an option?
Losing is not retreat is not an option. Retreat is defeat in Iraq. Al-Qaeda, they're acknowledging even, along with General Petraeus, that Iraq is the central front on the war on terror. And the violent Islamic extremists who hate America would love that stronghold to be built in Iraq. If we were to lose there, we're not going to be any better off when we fight at Afghanistan either, nor the other areas where terrorist cells are growing across our world.
What countries today pose the most danger, in your view, to America?
Well, any country that's going to house the violent Islamic terrorists, we have to keep our eye, of course, on Iran. We have got to keep our eye on some of the ongoing activities in Russia also. North Korea, under the leadership of Kim Jong-il, certainly there's a lot of concern there. What we have got to commit to also, especially when we talk about Russia, no Cold War. We have got to know that our mindset needs to be opportunity for pressure and diplomacy and sanctions if need be, as we keep our eye on a country like Russia.
You don't want to start a war with Russia,
We do not want to start a war with Russia. No Cold War. That's got to be off the table. And opportunity comes with new leadership being ushered in, being elected into our democracy, where we can start forging even better relationships and strengthening the allies that we have. That's the opportunity that John McCain is going to make sure happens.
What do you view, and I know this came up in your interview with Charlie Gibson, as it relates to the Bush Doctrine. What do you view as the Bush Doctrine, and what do you view as America's role in the world? What is our role as a country as it relates to national security?
That's a great question. And being an optimist, I see our role in the world as one of being a force for good and one of being the leader of the world when it comes to the values that it seems that just humankind embraces, the values that encompass life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness. And that's just not just in America, that is in our world. And America is in a position, because we care for so many people, to be able to lead and to be able to have a strong diplomacy and a strong military also at the same time, to defend not only our freedoms, but to help these rising, smaller democratic countries that are just, they're putting themselves on the map right now, and they're going to be looking to America as that leader. We being used as a force for good is how I see our country.
When you were first announced as Senator McCain's running mate, the Obama campaign put out a statement, and here's what it was. It said, "Today, Senator McCain put the former mayor of a town of 9,000 with zero foreign policy experience a heartbeat away from the presidency." Perhaps they forgot you got promoted, but how did that make you feel?
Oh, it's motivating to me, Sean, because it's, okay, not only personally will I have opportunity to prove what the capabilities are here, but I so respected John McCain, his maverick streak in him there really being made manifest in choosing someone who has a track record of that commitment to reform, of being able to share the examples of the reform, the practices that have been implemented and have been good for the people whom I have been serving. I've been working for the people of Wasilla and Alaska, and in my job also in overseeing such a healthy portion of the U.S. domestic production of oil. Those things that I add to the ticket, certainly, our opponents are going to ignore all that, and they're going to send their opposition researchers up to Alaska. They've got dozens of them up there now.
I think they called it a mini army in the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, well, I hope.
Did you meet any of them? You were just up there. Did you see any of them?
I didn't see them, but I hear that they're all over the place, and I'm just hoping that they're going to spend a lot of money in our local communities and bolster the economy up there.
So you're hoping for the economy to benefit from all the media and the op research team of Barack Obama?
Yeah, the opposition research too. We know how this works, and certainly they're going to find a few of those who have those ruffled feathers up there, and so be it. We're moving on, and we are focusing on the issues that are important to Americans in this election. It's the economy. It's winning the war. It's a strong education system for our students today, and a very healthy workforce that needs to have opportunity for jobs for our hardworking families in America. That's what the people of America are talking about.
Let's talk about Senator Obama. He's clearly upset at your speech at the Republican National Convention when you took on, quote, community organizers. Do you think that maybe being a little too rough on Senator Obama, some of his critics think that was over the line and too tough?
Oh, I certainly didn't mean to hurt his feelings. Didn't mean to offend any community organizers either. I do have respect for those who have chosen public service. And what I was doing, though, certainly, it should be obvious, was directing a comment to him as he had taken a shot small mayors across the nation.
So it was payback.
And small mayors of small towns, quote unquote, they're on the front lines. They're held accountable every single day that they are in office with real responsibilities that do demand that accountability and invite accountability.